What's going on, guys? It's 9 a.m. I'm making this recording. I'm going to tell you what's up. I'm going to tell you who's on this episode. We got the captain today. The captain is going to be the first female guest on the show. She is a character. She represents a minority of women who are in the STEM field. She's a double major in biomedical engineering and applied math. She is the captain in Spanish for two reasons. One, she's actually the captain of her Club Lacrosse team and has been for multiple years. And she is very fond of exploring the world. She's been to many places. She's traveled and she plans on continuing to travel. So, I know Spanish isn't that foreign, but changing the pace. Instead of saying the captain, I want, la capitana, and it rolls off the tongue and it sounds cool. So, So in this one, we're going to be talking about her travel, her decisions to become a biomedical engineer, and what she feels like doing after that. And I hope you guys have noticed these intros have been getting a lot shorter. The episodes have been getting more condensed to the point. I think I finally figured out the flow of things, and I think I'm going to be rolling out more episodes on a faster pace, maybe twice a week. And what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to stop putting stuff on SoundCloud. A couple of reasons why I'm going to be doing that. One, I don't like SoundCloud's interface that much. I think it was made for music, not really podcasts. And two, they to have enough upload space, I would have to pay like $15 a month, which I don't feel like doing. I'm probably just going to wait it out and get the website and the RSS feed and just put it to like iTunes and all the apps and stuff that I said I was going to do. And that'll be coming shortly. So for now, all of these podcasts will only be on YouTube. So for all you people out there who are listening to the podcast, for all my friends, quote unquote friends who are listening, man, I'm at 6 subscribers, guys. Help your boy out. Hit them subs, hit them like buttons. Help me out if you like the content. If not, don't do it. I mean, you know what? I'm trying out here though. If there's anything you want change, leave a comment. Tell me, give me some feedback. Say what you want more from this channel. Other than that, hope you enjoy the talk. Out of all of the teams that you played on then, so what do you think was the most, other than college, before college, what do you think was like the most memorable game you've had in lacrosse? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I didn't think of that question before, like starting this, but I'm actually wondering what's your favorite like lacrosse game memory, like highlight reel type stuff.
I don't know.
There has to be one game that stands out.
Well, the thing is, like, my lacrosse, like, has been, like, such a bumpy ride, because, like, in, like, junior year of high school, like, I got hurt, so, like, I didn't play.
Really?
Yeah. So
what injury?
I got my hip flexor. I strained my hip flexor, so I was, like, out my entire junior year season. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, sophomore year I was on JV, and, like, junior year I was supposed to get onto varsity. Mm-hmm. But, like, because of my injury, like, I couldn't be on varsity.
Really?
So then, like, senior year I got on varsity, but it was kind of just, like...
It was at the end. It was
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Really
it's at the end, and like, exactly. Like they already have like a set lineup and stuff like that.
Wow. Do you think that would have impacted your college career differently? Do you think like being on varsity?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you would have been like on the actual team more so.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's definitely a possibility. I mean, you really never know.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I played like club lacrosse over the summer and stuff like that, so like that helped with like the college recruiting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, maybe it would have helped, but,
Do you think you would have rather been on, the actual lacrosse team versus a club lacrosse team, or do you think it doesn't really matter to you?
I mean, you can't think
about
change,
that.
You can't change about what's happening right now, and, I love my experience I've had at Stony Brook. I think that if I was on the lacrosse team, I wouldn't...
You definitely have less time.
I probably wouldn't have been friends with you guys.
That's true.
All of the friends that I've made so far, I probably wouldn't be friends with them, and I don't know if I would have stuck with my major, even double majored, or.
I mean, yeah, that's really true. Being on any club or like any part of Greek life during your college career, you become closest friends with those people because so much of your free time goes to hanging out with those people. So probably more likely than not, if you're on the actual team where you have to do like all of the drills, all the weekly routine of being on a team, probably wouldn't have the free time to hang out with other people.
Yeah, it would have been such a different experience.
It would have changed everything. That's
definitely
crazy, yeah. But I mean, also you wouldn't have done the double major for BME AMS, which I also want to get into because you're a minority of people being a female in a STEM field, which is relatively uncommon.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just I mean, it's rising now. But given the fact that I think it's like 17%.
Yeah.
I want to say something like that. Random stats. I love throwing them out there. But so what made you choose BME and AMS? And wait, before you start saying stuff, BME is biomedical engineering. AMS is applied math and statistics. For those of you who don't know.
Yeah. So so what started me being interested in BME was I have like 3 older siblings, and they're all super smart. Like, so my oldest brother went to school. He originally went for engineering, but he decided like not to do that.
Okay.
And he went to math. And then my other brother, who's like 2 years older than me, like I like look up to him a lot, and like a lot of, I don't know, we just like get along really well. And so when he first went to school, he went to like an engineering college. School. Yeah, exactly. Like it was mostly engineering. Yeah.
What school did he go to?
Stevens Tech.
I have no clue.
Yeah, it's in Hoboken. Okay. It's a small school, but it's like pretty much everyone there is an engineer.
Okay.
And so, you know, he was there while I was kind of like getting into the whole college thing, and seeing him like being interested in engineering, I'm like, oh, like I should look into engineering. And then, you know, I kind of like looked into the different kind of engineering they had, just overall, and
just like programs.
Yeah, exactly. And I was looking into biomedical engineering because like just the fact that you're able to like influence the medical field without actually having to go through like 4 more years of college or like whatever for like med school, like, and I never really wanted to be a doctor. That was like never what I was interested in. But
why not? You just didn't like the idea of it.
I don't know.
Like are you squeamish like with like?
No, not even like I don't mind with like blood or anything. I think it's more of just the fact that like
that's true.
There's just so much like sickness and so much like
you don't
negative. Yeah, like I don't think I could handle all that. But like being able to like, you know, improve it and like, you know, allow people to like live longer or just improve their lives at all, like makes biomedical engineering like a really cool.
That's really interesting because I've had this conversation with my friend from high school, and we talk about the drastic difference in the change in the medical field versus the change in the technological field. If you look at the rate technology has been moving over the past years, it's exponential, where medicine is still pretty archaic.
Yeah.
Like, you'll like, I don't know, like your hip flexor thing, or like me, like I've injured my shoulder many times, and like I'll go to an orthopedist, an orthopedist, I was about to say orthodontist. I don't even well, go to an orthopedist, and I'll be like, oh, like this hurts, and like, oh, it's fine, it just happens, you know, like just stop doing stuff, and it's okay. Like there's no, like it's been getting better now, but like the real push to make those changes happen are the technology.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's so many like things that need to be checked off before you're even allowed to like implement any new technology, or like, you know, if you're trying to, you know, have like an implant, like you have to make sure that the biomaterials go like well with the body and that they don't get rejected. Like there's just so much that goes into it that like it makes it kind of hard to get those like inventions to take off. So, but like rightfully so, like you have to make sure that they're safe and that they're able to, they do more good than harm.
So what kind of engineering was your brother doing? Because you're saying he was the one that influenced you.
So he was doing I think civil engineering, which is like building bridges and stuff like that. Yeah, but I was like not interested in that at all. But so he just got me interested in like the engineering field as a whole. But actually, like I never really knew exactly like what I wanted to do. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to be a teacher because like my mom was a teacher.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, like, you know, I want to be like that. But then I think like over the years, I kind of just like, I'm interested in so many different things that like it's hard for me to decide like what I want to actually do.
Same problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Same problem. That's like when I was in 3rd grade, I think they always. I think it was 3rd grade. It's like that first year they ask us like, oh, like what do you want to be when you grow up? Like we're gonna put in your yearbook. And it's like I'm in 3rd grade. What do you expect from me? I don't even know what a job is.
Yeah, exactly. Back then you're like so far in the future, but then now you're like, oh, this is this is
3rd grade, I think I said I wanted to be an architect, and then I realized that to be an architect, you need to know how to draw.
Yeah.
And then the first time I realized that, I was like, that is not happening. I'm incapable of drawing. And then later on, I don't think I ever really thought about it. I think I said pharmacist at a point, and then I just keep listing things that were high paying.
Yeah.
And then college comes around. I'm in college, and Like, I ended up being math just because I was good at math, and now I'm literally like, I just don't want a job.
Yeah, it's too much pressure.
One, it's too much pressure. Two, I feel like I have that, and I think it's for our generation, it's a new thing, that like commitment problem of I want to just do things here and there. Like I want to be able to do this, and then like if I get bored of it, like I want to do that.
Yeah, and I think like that's part of the reason why I decided to pick up the double major of AMS because like so my oldest brother, he wound up doing math as his major, and he like went into like marketing, and he's like sales right now. And then my brother, who's 2 years older than me,
he's an actuary, right?
Yeah, so he like went into, after being a engineering major, he like decided that wasn't for him at all, and he went he's transferred schools and he went into actuary, and so like and he's like loving what he's doing right now. Like both my brothers are loving what they're doing, so I'm like, oh well, if I don't enjoy biomedical engineering, like I could go into math, and like just being able to have that extra like kind of like cushion of like I don't know, it just helps.
Applied math is one of the most growing fields right now in the STEM field, just because it's applicable almost in everything. I always tell people who like talk about math and like don't like it, it's like there's languages of the world, everyone speaks a different way, but math is universal. It's applicable in any part of the world. And it's helpful in so many different things. Like, I don't know. I guess if you're not into it, then you're not into it. There's some
like,
people who are just god awful at math. Like not even like real math. Like I'm not even talking about calculus. I'm talking about like there was a person that I was working with, and they were like, oh, like I just got a car, and I have no clue how to like I don't know how much my payments are and how much they should be. And like they were like so bad at it that they just didn't know how to they didn't know what their payments were. They didn't know how interest rate works, and it's like. That's just stuff you should know. You know, I think...
Or if not know, like, be able to learn, like, be able to, like...
figure it out. Because that's life stuff that you just should have figured out. Because, I mean, money is a number. Technically speaking. Like, it's you have to know numbers to know money.
And money runs the world, so...
And people don't know that.
But I think it's just, like, I don't know. I've always loved math. Everyone in my family loves math, except for my dad, because he doesn't have those genes. So, we got it all from my mom, but...
That's cool. So all family engineers. So wait, you have another sibling. So
so I have a sister.
Doing? You have a sister.
So she went to school. She went to Loyola down in Maryland, and she was down there for like a year, maybe 2 years. I'm not really sure. I was kind of young when it all happened, and then she kind of just realized like she got into some trouble, but she kind of realized that like college just wasn't for her.
Right.
The thing is, like, she's really smart. She got a like perfect score on the math part of her SAT. Like,
hey, me too.
She's like she's just like really like she's really smart. She really enjoys math, but like it's just like the rest of college just like wasn't for her. Like she it was really she just like wasn't interested in it. You know what I mean? And I think like it's hard
not for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely isn't. And I think it was also just like a lot for her to deal with, like a lot of just like stress and pressure, you know. So I think then she just like dropped out, and she.
What year did she drop out in?
I think sophomore year.
Okay.
Like she didn't go into junior year.
Okay.
Yeah, so she dropped out, and now she's like living in Pennsylvania with her fiance.
Nice.
And she just like works at like a catering place.
What do you think the origins of the word fiance are?
French.
No, I mean, no, not like the origin, not the language origins.
No, I don't know.
Why fiance? I don't know. It's a funny word.
Yeah.
Fiance.
It is.
Anyways, that goes into a good segue into language and going to different parts of the world, because I definitely want to talk to you about all the different places you've been.
Oh yeah.
Because I mentioned this in the intro. You've been out of everyone I know, like other than the Mazingo, which is he doesn't count just because he's been to everywhere.
He lived
there.
He's
literally lived everywhere.
Yeah.
But like you've traveled every break, or like at least once during every semester, you've gone somewhere, and it's like I've seen you like 1 week, and then literally like 2 weeks later they'll be like, oh, like I'm in Italy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happened?
How did that happen? Yeah. I think like it's definitely a big part of it is because of my parents. Like growing up, like my parents made sure to take us on vacations. Like every summer we went on a vacation, and it was like usually just like around like the U.S. You know, we've gone to like California a couple times. I've been to Hawaii a couple times. Like I have family there. I've been to like the Grand Canyon and all that. Like my parents like always made sure to like explore. Kind of like explore and kind of like ingrain that like traveling, you know,
the mentality.
Exactly.
You know, this like, is I think the world we know. We should look at it.
Right, like where we live is such a small part of the world, and like you just have like
there's so much more to it.
There's so much more. The people, like just the experiences have been like awesome. But so
wait, before we get started into all the places do you have a total count of all the different countries you've been to?
Well, okay, so I actually have I've pretty much only been in the US except for like last January was when I started to go
abroad.
Outside. Yeah. I mean, I went to like Mexico, I guess, and like Canada when I was like
if
but
you're
like
in the US, you go there eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been to Mexico. I've been to Canada like 8 times, but I haven't been to Mexico.
I've been to Mexico on like a cruise or whatever, but it's like not like actually to Mexico, but
okay.
But so then like last so I mean, I guess I have a count just because it's like pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't think of them right now. Yeah.
Ireland and Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and also London and Amsterdam.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So like last January, I went to Ireland with my family. Well, I went with studying abroad.
From last January till now, you've been to all 4 of those places.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, actually, and I also went to Paris, so 5.
Okay, so 5 places in a year.
Yeah.
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
That's wild.
Yeah, kind of like once I went in January to Ireland, it kind of just like got the ball rolling, and I was like, I can't stop. Like, I need to go to other places.
You need help?
You're
all addicted to traveling now?
Yeah, it gets addicting. Like,
you should start a travel Instagram. I feel like that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Maybe I'll get into that.
Because there's a lot of people, and that's one of the most common things that Instagrammers do now is like they'll just travel the world and like take awesome pictures.
Yeah.
And like that's all they do. That's literally all they do. But,
Seems like a lot of work though.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know if it's vegetarian, but food for thought.
Yeah.
So out of the 5 places that you've been to, was it you said Paris, Ireland, London, Amsterdam, Italy?
Paris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think your favorite was?
That's so hard.
Because I know, so like I have family that has gone to Paris, and like you'd think Paris is really nice, but from what they've told me anecdotally, it's god awful there.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that like, it's just different. You know what I mean? Like Paris wasn't my favorite place, but like it was still such a good experience being there, and also like all the places that I've been to, it's like I was there for different amount of times. I was there with different people. So like being
so the experience
the experience is like completely different. Like the trip that I just went on to Italy, like I went with my entire family, and it was like such a good vacation because like we're all, I mean, like I'm the youngest of pretty much like all my like family kind of. So like I'm finally like old enough to like hang out with everyone, and like it's not like it's weird if like, you know, an 8-year-old's hanging out with like a 20-year-old, but if a 21-year-old's hanging out with like a 40-year-old, like it's okay, like you know what I mean, like it's not weird, like. So
all of you could drink. That's the important
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's like just different experiences. Like when I went to Ireland, it was very like factual because I was there to take a class. So it was like
you learn things there of Ireland, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So like a lot of our like the places that we went and a lot of like the information I was told was a lot of like factual historical stuff. So and I also
was the most interesting fact of Ireland? Tell me.
Oh.
Come on. You took an entire class. How do you not know one interesting fact?
I know.
Bruh.
No, I can't think of anything. And you can't put me on the spot like that. But no, I don't know. It was just like, and even like going to Ireland, I was there with, I knew like 2 girls already on the trip. But like besides that, it was like, you know,
people that you
30
really
strangers that I was there with and like forced to stay with for 30 days. Yeah.
That sucks.
But like at first it sucked, but like the time like goes by so like quickly and so slow at the same time that like
doing something every day.
Yeah, and you're with the same people, so you're like kind of like forming relationships, like, and they're forming a lot quicker than normal ones because you're with them like 24/7. Yeah. So, and you're also like, it's just interesting because you're exploring a new part of the world with a complete stranger. You know what I mean?
You're both in that moment of awe, like,
you're like, look where I am right now, and I'm sharing it with you. I don't even know you. Like,
it's like, yo, you see this?
Yeah.
So, because what I've heard from family that has gone to Paris, the reason why they said it was so bad was, and obviously this is generalization, and I hate generalizations. Yeah. I talked about this on the one that I had on the 3rd episode. But I gotta stop. I'm gonna have too many episodes to start referring to them. I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah.
But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, my cousin. So when they went there, they were telling me that a lot of the people there, or like the French people that they were meeting there in general, were relatively like snobby in terms of like they didn't really, they kind of looked down people from America.
Yeah.
It's like filthy
but I mean,
American.
honestly,
So,
like I look down on people that are American too. Like it's like I think it's just like their culture really. Like I definitely had that experience too, where like they weren't as friendly as the people who were in Ireland. Who like people in Ireland, they just want to make you feel like you're at home, like very warm and welcoming. But people in Paris, it's also a very like touristy place. So
do you think it's because it's like the city? It's because
it could be.
If you're in New York City, it's the same thing. No one wants to give you the time of day. It's busy.
Yeah, exactly. And I
feel like they'd be highbrow though.
Yeah.
I feel like the French would be highbrow. I don't know. I just think they would.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's
but I did meet like a lot of like French people who were like very like willing to help you if you needed help with directions or. I mean, I was sick when I went to Paris, and I was, we had like 3 days there, and we like walked like 13 miles every day, like because we were just trying to get everything in. Yeah. So it was like rough, but I still had an awesome time there. Like it's just like so surreal. Like when you like see the Eiffel Tower, you're like, holy shit! Like this is the Eiffel Tower. Like it's not even. It's literally just like a hunk of metal, but it's like something that like.
I mean,
you would never.
It's something that's been around for so long. Yeah. It's like it matters.
Yeah. It's like when I went there with my parents, and like when I got there, like me and my mom and my dad, we just like stood there and we were just like looking at it, like in amaze. Like it was outrageous, and my mom was just like, I never thought in my entire life I would see the Eiffel Tower in person. Mm-hmm. It's just something that like it's so like far out of your mind that it's not real until you're there.
Until you're there. Yeah, I haven't really explored. I was talking to someone about this before, but I've only been to. My parents did this thing when and I'm really mad that they did this. Is that anytime they'd have vacation time? I mean, it makes sense for what they did. I'm not getting into why, but anytime they'd have vacation time, or like extra money to spend, we'd always end up going to Bangladesh. Just because my mom had so much family there. Yeah. So whenever we had the time, like she wanted to go back and like, spend like.
But that makes sense, honestly. Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, most of my life, like, I've had a lot of family that, like, lives near me. Mm-hmm. So, like, on holidays and stuff, like, we're with family. We're constantly seeing, like, I have family who lives around the block from me. Like, we're always seeing each other. So, like, I guess if you're not seeing each other, like, it makes sense why you would want to, like, go visit them so often.
But we went, like, so many times.
Yeah.
I kind of, like, now my parents, since have gotten older, they're, like, in their mid-40s, late 40s now. Mm-hmm. They want to like, explore the world. Yeah. I think my mom's we've gone to like 20 out of the 50 states.
That's awesome.
We want to go. My mom wants to do all 50, and then she also wants to go like start going like abroad. Like they finally have that inkling to want to go, and also the financial capability because that is probably the biggest part of it. Going anywhere is expensive.
Yeah, and like I mean, my parents just retired, so they've had.
That's since probably helping.
Since they've retired, they've gone like all over. They went to Australia, New Zealand. They went to like Germany, Austria. Like they've gone so many different places, and I think it's like once you kind of get older, you're like time's kind of running out. Like I haven't seen as much of the world as I would like to see. Like there's just so much to see. It's impossible to see it all. Like even
if you were touring, even if you were like free in terms of like financially speaking, it would still not be enough time to probably see every little thing.
And even just like. Sometimes you want to spend more time in one place, like, but there's still so much more you could be seeing. But like,
out of all the places you've been to, then is there one that this one's probably is the answer. Out of the 5 places you've been, country wise, what was the one that stood out the most that you think was like maybe the people that stood out, the way they were in terms of in respect to like the United States, or like the environment or like the things that you saw, the sights. Which one stood out the most?
I think for me, I mean, maybe it was because I was there the most recent, but for me, I think it was Italy. Like, Italy, it's just such a cool place to be. And also, like, from, like, middle school until high school, I took Latin as my language course. So, and with that comes a lot of, like, Roman mythology, like, Roman history, Greek history, all mythology, all that. So, like, I went to Rome and like got to see all the stuff that I've been learning about for 6 or 7 years, and it's just like so like surreal being there. You're like, oh, I remember seeing that picture in a textbook, like
it's right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
wait, is the Leaning Tower of Pisa? No, it's not.
It's in Italy, but okay. Yeah, but not in Rome.
Not in Rome.
Yeah.
Okay, where is the Leaning Tower of Pisa? I feel like I should know this.
It's in Pisa.
It's in Pisa.
Yeah.
I'm retarded.
No, it's alright. But yeah, I think like
gonna hear that.
No, it's okay. I think Italy was probably most memorable just because of the people I got to spend it with. It was having a vacation with like your extended family, like sometimes it's like really stressful, but like this time it was like
Everyone
everything
was letting loose.
And it was just like everything was just picture perfect. Like it couldn't have, I don't know, everything just couldn't have gone.
The weather was nice. And
the weather was nice. Like my cousin got married over there, so like the wedding was like perfect. Yeah, it was awesome.
Sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah, and the food there is so fucking good. That's the thing, like being able to go and travel different places and like try the different food and just to be completely out of your like element. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like literally a life changing.
Food is probably the thing that translates the most through culture.
Yeah.
Every single place has a different culture that offers different types of food. Because like I do the thing all the time where it's like every once in a while I'll have a meal and I'll eat with my hands. And then every time, like, someone will bug us, like, you eat with your hands? Yeah. I'm like, you literally just wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like the meal isn't the same without it. But to some people, they're like, whoa, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just like a cultural difference.
Culture shock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, people are just not okay with things that they're not normal with.
Right. Yeah. But being out of your comfort zone, that's how you explore. It's how you find stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, me traveling so much, especially recently, like abroad, like has made me so open to like the thought of like living in a different country, like living abroad. Like I have thought a lot about like what I'm gonna do after school,
right? And
so like I don't really want to go to grad school right now, so I want to like work a little bit, but like I think eventually like, I'm gonna wind up going to grad school like over in Europe. I'm like I really want to go to Amsterdam for grad school. Like I feel like that would be dope. But
so what do you think you'd go to grad school for?
Right now, probably like bioengineering.
Bioengineering.
Yeah. Okay. But it depends. Like, I really don't know.
I mean, that's the point of this.
Exactly. Like over the past couple of years, like I've thought about the future so much because like it's inevitable with college and stuff like that. We got last year. So we gotta figure stuff out eventually. Yeah. And like every time I see my mom, whenever I see her, she's always like, "Oh, like, are you sure you're happy with what you're doing?" Like.
That's awesome.
My parents have always been like super supportive with like what I want to do. Yeah. Like they understand like if you're not happy, like make a change. Yeah, exactly.
Change. That's a key element, and I think a lot of parents, especially immigrant parents, just lack that. And my parents in specific, like my parents are super supportive and they love like their kids, and they did everything that they could so I could end up where I wanted to be doing what I wanted to do. But like at the same time, if they knew that I was like running a podcast and I want to start a YouTube channel and stuff like that, they'd be like,
they would question
that's dumb. What are you doing? Like they don't understand it just because the culture shock of like them being from a different country and coming here. Like everything is so new and different to them. Like them living this lifestyle it's not normal to them. Yeah. So like even my college career, they've definitely impacted greatly. I actually wanted to do physical therapy. And like I've been a personal trainer for a while now. It's like I've always been that guy that was like into fitness and stuff. And like I thought like I kind of wanted to go into physical therapy or occupational therapy. In my freshman year, and I said that thought and I talked to my mom about it, and she didn't tell me directly like don't do that. Yeah. But she was like, "Oh, are you sure you want to do that?" Like she kind of put that doubt in me a little bit. And, like no negative. Like I love my mom. I love my pops. I love my mom. Like I'm not gonna be like,
my mom has done the same thing too. Like she kind of like plants the seed sometimes. She's like kind of like, but she's just protecting you. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's like with my mom, like she's always been super like, if you're not happy with what you're doing, like you can change it. Like it's okay. Yeah. And I think like since I've been thinking about the future so much, like I kind of have gotten okay with the idea that like things aren't gonna turn out the way you expect them to turn out.
I mean, things never do.
Exactly. And the thing is that like there are people who like change their job when they're like 30 40, 50 years old. Like my life, I might never even become a bioengineer. Like
you never know. You literally never know.
Exactly. And I could like maybe like next year I'll find something that I'm in love with and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do with it for the rest of my life.
And
but
exploring would definitely help that. Yeah. Just find more things and more options and more opportunities. Yeah. But like my mom specifically, like she put in that doubt, like that little bit of doubt that she put in me in my freshman year. She's like, oh, like they don't really make that much money. Like I don't know if like that's for you. I feel as though instead of doing that, like all parents should sit down with their kids and have an entire conversation where they like break down the path that they could take. Like like kind of like a counselor or an advisor, like just sit down and break it. And it's like difficult for immigrants, I get that, but like I think they should go out of their way and try to research it or something and try to find out like the possibilities. Because honestly, when you're at our age, and I'm considering you start college at like 17. Mm-hmm. Like when you're at that age, you have no like you're barely conscious in my opinion. I think you start being conscious at like 13. Mm-hmm. That's like when my brother, like I saw the shift from when he went from 12 to 13.
Yeah.
Like he kind of like knows what's going on in the world.
Grew up a little bit.
Yeah. Like he thinks about things before he does them instead of just doing them.
Yeah.
But he's still a piece of shit and he just doesn't do things sometimes. But like that to like 17, you like when you're going through high school. Like, you kind of develop. Yeah. But you're still not really you're not even close to an adult. Yeah. Like, we're kind of close now, but we're still not close to adult. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's, like, definitely some major shifts, but we're not there yet. We're not close to being there yet.
A Joe Rogan bit about it. He goes, one day you're just at the grocery store, and they go either, like, paper or plastic, sir or ma'am, and you're like, I'm not a ma'am or a sir. Like,
yeah.
Like, who do you think I am? No, like, that's not me. I'm still a kid. No.
Yeah.
But, like, no one really knows, and I think that's the most important thing. Is, like, trying to just figure it out and kind of, like, you know, a little here and there, and, like, eventually, you know, find, like, a little happy place.
Yeah. And I think, like, I don't know, like, to be honest, like, there's so much to see out in the world, and there's so much to explore that, like, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
It doesn't. It's like that's the thing that's
like it's like the BoJack perspective. Like nothing really. Yeah, like nothing really matters. Like your life could end at any moment. Like you might as well just go out of your way and see everything you can. Yeah. Like be involved in as many things as you can. Form relationships. Like just find out more about yourself, and then that's really life. That's really it.
That also goes back to your why not thing.
Yeah.
So why not? You know?
It's like life is short. You might as well make shit happen. Or fuck up along the way and you know
learn from it.
Exactly.
I changed my phone background. I changed it to this kind of pisses me off, but it says sometimes you win and then sometimes you learn, but the win is in all caps and the learn is in lowercase. So I read it as sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. It really bothers me, but like I really like the phrase, but I need to change it because I read it like that every time.
Yeah.
So last question before I end it is so your BME AMS and we went through the whole thing of not knowing, but where do you think you, like, given how much you've explored, do you think that the chances of you going outside the U.S. and then pursuing a job outside are likely?
100%. 100%. To be honest, like, every time I go somewhere new, I'm like, I want to live here for a couple years. And then I want to go, like, I have right now such, like, a nomadic, thought process that I'm like, I don't want to stay in one place. I don't want to be stagnant. I just want to...
That's my biggest thing, is I never want to feel like I'm at a dead end.
Exactly. Like, and the thing is, there's definitely negatives of being, like, so nomadic. Like, you know, you don't get to form those long-lasting relationships, but I think that it's... You can still form them and just make different friends around the world. Like, I think... I don't know. I'm 100% going somewhere else. I'm definitely going to live at least a year.
If anyone was to be the person that just knows a bunch of people from just every part of the world, it'd be 100%.
Yeah.
I think it'd 100% be you. But yeah,
I'm gonna connect the world one person at a time.
Hey.
One person at a time.
That's La Capitana right there. That's being the captain. All right, that's it.
That's it.
Good episode. Peace out, guys.